limit. I'm living, I live with no limits, I live in life. Handle my business. Please say the fuck up my business and lay it life. Sky's the limit. If I ain't in your top 5, I want smoke with your top 5. That's real shit. I ain't talking just to talk. I'm a dog, I'm a bite. I ain't barking just to bark. I shut that light down when shit was getting dark. Me and my niggas so close, can't tell us apart.
Limitlessly Leveling, man, episode 2. We got Rod back because I felt like Rod need 2 weeks, man. Rod need 2 weeks, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how important he is, man. So yeah, he back with me. We back to talk about some things. You know, we just gonna keep it fresh, keep it cool, and all of that stuff. So I hope y'all ready for this episode as well, man, because we about to go right into it.
Right. And I had a topic I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So I always love, I always like read these stories or watch these movies where, you know, there's like these people who do their art, but they've had things in their early on in their life that they never thought would help them in their art. Right. And for example, with me, I remember when I was little, one of my mom, the way my mom, you know, wanted to make money on the side, you know, to help support us was she started this abacus class. And an abacus, you know an abacus, right? It's like this slate with beads on it. Okay. And back in the day,
it's like beading.
It's like it's beading what they used to for math.
Oh.
So it's I'm gonna show you. So it's like, I'm sure you've seen it before, but it's a slate with a ton of beads on it, right? Okay. And the cool thing about it was, it was made, you know, back in the day before calculators. So you could do like, you know, 25 plus 35 plus 85, you know, plus 90 plus 100. You could do like long numbers of calculations in your head by learning how to use these beads, right? But the cool thing about the beads was you would start on this slate, right? And when you would get really good at using all these beads, you could imagine these beads in your head, and that's how you learned how to use the abacus. But and I remember when my mom put me in the class, we would have to drive to New Jersey, and it was like so far, and I was like, I don't feel like fucking doing it. I hate school, and I never thought it would have a use in my life. Yeah. And you cut to years later, and I don't know why it works like this, but before I shoot a scene, because of those beads, because I'm so good at for some reason I was so good at the way I learned it. I could imagine entire scenes in my head before I shoot them, and many times it helps me. And I was always interested in that because I know there's many stories of people doing their art where they've come across something like even some. I watched the Ray Charles movie the other day. When he went blind, he accredits him being blind to being able to feel rhythm in a different way. So not that he chose, that's something that happened to him, but have there been any experiences in your childhood that you think helped you with your ability to make music? Or
oh man, from the time I was probably like 4 years old, I was a performer. Yeah. Natural. Right. At my grandma's house, both of my grandma's house, I'm in front of the TVs. Whatever hip hop song, I remember Criss Cross. That's probably like my first memory with hip hop, my first experience, I think. I don't know when Jump Jump came out by Criss Cross, but that's probably my first true memory of being like into hip hop. I don't know, whatever year it was, however old I was, that's like my first memory of like being into music. Just always able to stay on beat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And did you, how did you fall in love with like the words? And was there something you did, that, would you, kind of go off into your room and make,
Dean to people the neighborhood I grew up in, I feel like the way that I grew up, and as far as I won in life, like graduated college, children, just the personal accomplishment that I've had in my life, I think that I'm not deemed to be normal. I think I just feel like I'm a little bit different than what everybody is, and
coming from where you come from,
where I come from, and it took me a while to accept that for myself. Right. But I always knew who I was. But it was about accepting who I was. Yeah. I know this person, but am I going to accept this? Me telling myself that I feel like. Hearing certain artists and the way they say things or word them to make it just hit the way that you want it. Yeah. I didn't really get that from Jay-Z may be my favorite artist of all time, but he's not a rapper that get high pitched or, but hearing an artist like Kendrick Lamar. Oh yeah. just the shit that he do, Young Thug, like the way that they alter their voice to make things sound a little bit crazier.
Right.
I started to hear that. That was when I knew that I was, when I started to hear those things, like certain parts of a song that nobody pays attention to. For example, like I'm trying to think of when I come back to you, but like come back to you with that one. But like it's just certain things that I hear that maybe nobody else heard or listened to. Like from the last episode where I said just hitting the wall, like it's just something that that made me like, oh my God, that was crazy.
Right.
And it's just maybe an ad lib or something that how that person came up with that had to show that creativity, like on 0 degrees. I mean, commas, not periods. I'm serious.
Yeah, I love that.
Real, down forever, they ride forever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going into a point where as though like I'm delivering it differently to get my point across, but somebody may just rap it normal to where as though it's not conveying that way, but now they hear me and I'm dancing or I'm bopping and I'm moving, it's rhythmic, you know what I'm saying? Right. So just trying to be rhythmic, like, who one person that helped me do that is like my homie Ann, and it's crazy, like this episode geared towards levels or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy that you said we gonna go right into it, but like, Ant helped me with that. Like I send him a song when it's rough. Before it even like gets mixed or anything, the first time I rap it or whatever, how you feel about this flow is like you in and out, you may lost your breath there, take that out, or you know what I'm saying? And he maybe could hear it, and I think that me and him got the same ear for music. I think that his ear for music is so similar to mine, that's how we able to do certain things, with music.
Right.
Like, it's certain beats that he may have sent me and I wrote in 10 minutes.
Right.
Because he knew my rhythmic, like he knew, like, we in tune like that, like, and just give a quick assertion about him, man. I met Ant when I was like 14 years old, 9th grade. Like you told the story about your homie Matt, man. We're just really, really great friends. Now to assume to be a brother, I feel like, we passed like the brotherhood stage and, we like inseparable as, as people in the universe. That's my guy. Just being personal, his kids is my kids his kids. Right. They connected, so our family's connected. He come from one family and an entity. My family comes from a family and entity. But like, my mom, is cool with his mom. So whenever they see each other,